Good morning, everyone. Happy Coffee Talk Tuesday. Today, we are talking about Facebook groups and how to have customer retention within Facebook groups. So, I'm going to give you five free, no cost, easy ways to retain some customers via Facebook groups. So, you guys know the deal. When you get in, say hello. Good morning, Life Coach Fred. Thanks for tuning in. Ooh, that coffee's strong this morning. I love it. Good morning, Nofo Town and Country. I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday and your coffee is as strong as mine is because mine is very strong today. All right, so we're talking about using Facebook groups for customer retention. And it's pretty well known that gaining new customers is much more costly than retaining existing customers. So, in the long run, you are going to spend less money if you can develop and maintain those relationships with people who are already customers of yours and keep them coming back and make them your brand ambassadors and do all the other fun stuff that we've talked about over the coffee talks. So, Facebook, and I say this to a lot of people, especially if you don't have a physical product that you're selling, Facebook is a way to nurture and develop and prolong these relationships that you have with your target market, with your clientele. So I know a lot of people are like, well, I wanna push the sale on Facebook, and that's really great. And you can do that if you have a product. But it's really difficult to do if you're on the service end or if you have a product that maybe takes a little bit more in depth. So, like something like Windows, you can't just go on and say, like, yeah, that window looks great. But usually you want to measure out and know the different types of windows that you're going to put in your house. So, Facebook's really great for capturing and nurturing those relationships. And groups, Facebook really started pushing about 2-3 years ago when they were in some hot water, lots of scandal. So they decided to take Facebook from being the everything platform where it's, basically the whole lunchroom, bringing it down to your specific lunch table. Everybody had that table that they always sat at in high school. So that's what Facebook groups essentially does. It brings like-minded people into one area that creates a sense of community. And Facebook has really been pushing those. I mean, I saw a Facebook ad for groups. Think it was in the Super Bowl last year. When have we ever seen Facebook put out ads prior to that? So they really were pushing Facebook groups. So it allows you to expand your relationships, and you can continually create opportunities for referrals, for new leads. And it also allows you to foster loyalty and generate sales. So, all really great things, all things that we want to do within our businesses. And I'm going to give you the 5 easy, cheap, no cost to you, except for your time, ways on how to do that. Okay, so first off, you want to be easily to find. So you can do that by actually creating a custom URL for your Facebook group. The one thing I will note about that is if your group gets over 5,000 people, which of course we would all love, if your group gets over 5,000 people, you actually can't change that URL. So when you're creating your Facebook group, I would suggest right away, just get it done, get it out of the way, and create that custom URL so you're easy to find. So I would, for instance, for us, we have our Stark Media marketing group. So we changed that URL right away. So this way people could go on and just type in facebook.com/Stark Media Marketing Group, and see all of our tips and tricks throughout the week. So it's very important that you are easily searchable, easily to find, and that's great to do with your custom URL. And then if you have a custom URL, then you can send it out on your emails. If you have any post-purchase follow-up that you do, you can send it out on that. Put it in cards if you do a giveaway. Throw it on the signature of your email, things like that. And people are more likely to click on a link when they can see what it is instead of it being facebook.com/capital F246, that whole thing. So having custom URLs are first tip, really, really great to help find your group. Next is to restrict access, and I'm going to give you the reasons why. You want to make your group private. So public groups, yes, they are very easy to find. They're easy to get in, and it's a great way to grow your audience as quickly as possible. The downside to that is you're going to get people in your group who maybe are not like-minded, aren't necessarily your target market. And so it's going to start to dilute your group down. The conversations that are going to be had within it may not pertain to your business, your service, your product, whatever it may be. So it's going to take a lot more monitoring on your end to make sure that those conversations that are being had are fostering the end goal that you want, which is to build those relationships, build your brand, and continue on that path with your target market. And it also is less exclusive. So this way, if I say like, oh, I'm part of a private group, or if I'm part of a public group, it's anybody can be in it. So there's really no value to being in it. So I would steer clear away from the public groups. Hi, Graham. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Mega. Next up is secret groups. So secret groups I would also steer clear from, because one, they are not searchable. So you can't just type it in and it won't pop up under groups. So secret groups are not searchable. They will definitely limit your size, because you then need to personally invite with a link every single person that you want in that group. So there's a lot more hoops to jump through in order to get through that group, but it is highly exclusive. So if you are looking to maybe do a group within a group, this may be something that you want to do. If you find that there's a small subset of people who are within your group that are like really true brand ambassadors, and you want to give them a little bit more exclusivity, a secret group may be the way that you want to go with that. But if you're just looking to kind of foster those relationships and continue on, I say you go with the private group. So private groups are searchable, but it does require the user to get administrative access in. So this way I go on and I say, okay, yes, that person can come in the group. No, I don't think that person's right for the group. So private groups are a good balance between accessibility, because they are searchable and can be found, but also exclusivity, because you do have to be allowed into the group by the admins. What we do on ours, which I think is a really great way to make sure that you're fostering the right community within your group, is we ask questions. So in order to submit a request to come into our group, we ask a series of questions, and it's basically along the lines to make sure that you're on the same mindset as we want this group. Are you in marketing? What is your interest in marketing? Why do you want to join the group? Things like that allow us to find out who is kind of just joining the group to join the group, or people who are actually going to be active, interested in what we're talking about, and just make our group a really great community to be in. You can also filter it by geolocation. So if we wanted to, let's say, just have a group for people out here on the east end of Long Island, we could do that. We can also make it so it's only accessible to friends of people who are in the group already. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can filter out who's allowed in the group and who's not. So that's why I think that for the point of this, fostering relationships and nurturing those kind of long-term, making people into brand ambassadors, the private group is the way to go. So third up is to use your group to enhance your customer's journey. So like I said, you really want to provide value within your group. You don't want just people to be in the group and see when you post every once in a while. So adding on to that whole exclusivity of, okay, now you're in this special group, you can do things like offer a giveaway, offer extra tips. If you have any downloadables, you can put them in there. give a little sneak peek to a product or, you know, a service that's coming out. A life coach friend, we did not exclude you because we moved away. Ours is actually not just on the East End. Ours is for everybody. It's all like-minded marketing people. So don't worry, you can still join. So yeah, you want to add to the exclusivity of your group. Now that they've entered the group, you want to give them some type of value for being in the group. So, you know, whether it's a discount code or if it's a sneak peek at something that you're rolling out, just basically making these people who are now investing in your time, in your product, in your service, in your brand, giving them a reason that they feel valuable as a customer. So some things that are specific to Facebook groups, which you can do with that, is use Facebook units. So first off, you have to make sure that your group is listed as a social learning group. And don't worry, that doesn't mean like social media learning. We're learning about social media. That's not what that means. It literally means that you are learning socially. So kind of think of like a college 101 class that's at a big college. So everybody's kind of learning together. So make sure that your group is listed as a social learning group. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, sorry. Julio! Say hi to everybody on Coffee Talk Tuesday, Julio.
What's going on? Everybody have a good day.
Thanks. Oh, I love the mailman. All right, so that's Julio. Okay, so let's get back to it. Small interlude with Julio. All right, so using Facebook units, make sure that you are listed as a social learning group. You can add value to that by using these units and, you know, putting up, let's say, some different type of content, like online courses. You can put up polls, and this just allows you to engage your customers and your target market and your Facebook members or group members a little bit more. You can also share documents within files. Sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah, there we go. So you can share documents within the Files tab, which is really great because, you know, who wants to sit there and read through an entire document via a post? You know, it's a lot easy to download and then you can read it on your own time. So you can share full documents, you can share photos, videos, audio files. So let's say that I'm in an artistic group and they, you know, I am creating some audio files and somebody wants to use them and they're going to attach it to a video. And now we're just creating this one really great piece of content. So things like that are really great that you can share within your Facebook group. You can also mark important posts as announcements. And the reason why that's so great is because we all know that, you know, you've seen something and then all of a sudden it gets lost in your feed and you can't ever find it again. So if you have something that is really important, like I said, maybe it's a sneak peek, a giveaway or anything like that, you can not just pin it to the top of the page, but mark it as an announcement, which gives it kind of a little extra oomph of importance. And those three things, the Facebook units, the sharing the documents of all different kinds, and the marking an important post as an announcement are exclusive to Facebook groups. So on your Facebook, of course, you can pin something to the top of the page, and you can do that in groups as well, but you can also mark other posts as announcements. So it just allows you to give it a little bit more extra oomph behind your message. So number 4 is also using your Facebook group as a customer service channel. I don't know about you guys, but I hate being on hold. I hate calling call centers. It's just not the thing that I want to do. And even this day and age, some chatbots get me annoyed because I'm not getting to where I need to get. So using your Facebook group as a customer service channel is a really, really great tool for you for a few reasons. One, everybody always likes to hear that they're being heard. So if you're trying to cultivate brand ambassadors, those people who are going to continually purchase from you, that are going to send you leads, that are going to send you referrals, you want to make sure that they feel like they're being heard, like their voice is important to you. And that's really easily done on these Facebook groups. So, even people can go on and ask questions, write comments, leave reviews. It's also a really great way for you to do some market research. I mean, Facebook groups are one of the best ways to have a focus group, and cost efficiently too, because you have all these people in one area, these people already using your product or service, and you can get feedback from them. There could be a hole along the lines that you didn't realize. There could be a miss within the marketing funnel that these people happen to get past, but you didn't realize, and you're actually missing out on a bunch of other business. So it's really, really great way to learn, what steps people struggle with, where people are having really great success. So this way you can model that on other features of your products or services. And it allows users to give each other tips. So let's say, for instance, you're not available to answer a customer service question, but you have a discussion board. So somebody comes on, writes a question, comment, concern. There's other people within the group who may have already had that question, comment, or concern and had it answered, and they're able to answer back to that person who originally did it. So you're cultivating this community of people who are behind your brand, who love your brand, and can help each other out. And that really helps develop people's relationship with you and with your brand and your product and your service. So having those discussion boards for people to answer each other's questions, to help each other out, just really kind of it hits the fields, And then on top of that, let's say multiple people had the same question and you see that, you can answer it for all, as opposed to having to individually reach out to every single person and answer that question. You just, answered on the discussion board, and now everybody sees it and people can refer back to it if anybody else posts that they have the same and or similar question. So that's really great. And you can also upload, like I said, with the files, you can do documents or videos or audios. You can upload tutorials. So if you find that there's a reoccurring issue or people have a reoccurring question, you can answer it via video, via audio, or just a write-up and post that to the group. So this way people can, once again, refer back to it if they have the question, or they can refer others in the group to it if that question gets posed on the discussion board. And just keep in mind that 56% of people, according to a global Microsoft research, 56% of people said that they stopped working with a brand because they got poor customer service. So if you're able to pull all of your pre-existing customers into this Facebook group and then have this discussion board, have these tutorials, have these little extra bits, those are just constant touch points that are really going to retain people's brand loyalty to you. So that was number 4. So number 5 is asking for feedback. And I know that this scares a lot of people, but asking for feedback is one of the most valuable things that you can do for your brand. Because this way, I mean, I've had multiple conversations with clients where I ask who their target market is, and they tell me, and then I go on and I do a little research myself, and I say, well, you're really missing the boat with this group over here, because these people are actually going to be very interested in your brand, in your service, in what you represent. So by asking for feedback and having these interactions via your Facebook group with people who are not cold leads, these are not people that you're trying to gain interest from, right? These are the people who are already in the consideration and purchase phase. So by asking for feedback, you can start to cultivate more information about your target market and maybe identify a space where you are missing the boat with a certain demographic. You can also get reviews, which you can ask if you can then later post onto your different social channels or in your emails. Reviews are great. People love reviews. They love to see reviews. And like I said, you can just really find any any areas that you could potentially be optimizing that you're not right now. So, and there's also a really great way to do that is by using the poll tab. Good morning, Oscar. Thanks for joining. Hey, Johnny. Thanks for tuning in. So using your feedback and your Facebook group as kind of a focus group, using that poll tab, asking those questions, finding out where you're missing the boat and where you're doing really, really well, are all going to be really, really vital information for you to adjust any type of marketing funnel that you need, and then just breaking into new markets and expanding your horizons and hopefully your business. All right, guys. And of course, bonus tip, analytics. Yeah, of course. It wouldn't be Coffee Talk Tuesday if I didn't talk about analytics. So the great thing about Facebook groups is within their analytics, they give you growth, engagement, membership, and units. Growth, obviously, how big your Facebook group is getting. Engagement, what posts people are interacting on. But then membership and units are the really interesting ones. Units, those little bits that I talked about earlier, where you can put up a poll, you can put up, let's say, an online course, a downloadable or something. You can see who's interacting with those. So if you have, let's say, 3 different types of units that you put up, you can see which one people are more interested in. Membership, on the other hand, is also really great. It will show you your top 10, I'll call them fans. So the top 10 people that interact with your posts and also post. So you'll see your top 10 people, and those are obviously your hardcore brand ambassadors. And those are the people that maybe you want to pull into that secondary secret group, because those are people that are obviously really great advocates for you. So you want to really hold on tight to those guys and continue to foster those relationships. But also it gives you demographics of people, age, gender, and location by city, country and city. And so that's the part that I really, really love, because like I said, there could be parts of what you think your target demographic or just an audience out there that you are missing the boat on, but they're interacting with you, but you may not realize. So by looking at those membership analytics, you can actually break down who's in this group, who's interacting with this group. And so you can say, hey, wait, I didn't realize that 20 to 25-year-olds actually really like my product or service. So now I'm going to start, gearing some of my social posts, or I'm going to start up an ad campaign that's geared towards this demographic now, because I wasn't necessarily selling to them prior. So those are some really, really awesome things that I love about using Facebook groups to foster relationships and build your brand. All right, guys, I know there was a lot of information in this one. So if you have any questions at all about using Facebook groups to retain some not information, but that too, to retain your customers or broaden your reach, please feel free to reach out. Quick overview: 1, create a custom URL, so this way you are easy to find and you can push it out on your emails, your signatures, your post product information, all that fun stuff. 2, restrict access. Make your groups private, not secret, because you want to be able to have people search them, but you want to have it a little exclusive that not just everybody can join. 3, make sure that you are giving your customers value and enhancing their customer journey. So give them a reason to be loyal to your brand. Give them something back for everything that they've given you. 4, use it as a customer service channel. Make sure that you are answering people's questions, maybe putting up a tutorial if people are asking similar questions, and allow people on the discussion board to communicate back and forth with people, so this way you can start fostering that community. And 5, make sure that you are asking for feedback. I know it's scary, but if you can fix a problem and open up yourself to a brand new market, you're just going to help your business a little bit more. And obviously, don't forget to check those analytics bonus tip and see if you can possibly broaden yourself to a different part of the audience and pull them into your target market that you may not have known about before. All right, guys, thanks again for tuning in to Coffee Talk Tuesday with our special guest, Julio the Mailman. He's great. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. And if you have any questions, let us know. Take care, guys.